You with us, Jimmy?
Yep, doing the behind the scenes stuff as per usual.
Are there scenes in a Zoom meeting? How do you get behind them?
It's a figure of speech.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have 10 o'clock if everyone else does. Let's call this meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Paradiso, I assume you have a prayer today?
Let us get in a prayerful mode. Dear God, thank you for all the blessings. Thank you for the snow. Thank you for today. Thank you for this job that you've placed the commissioners and all the electeds in. We ask that you guide us over this meeting and make strong, good decisions. We also would like to have you extend a hand to all the less fortunate people in our county as the cold weather set in, the holidays have set in. They may be comforted in a special way. Amen.
Yeah, thank you. Roll call, Nikki.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Thomas,
I am here.
And I will, as usual, accept the motion to approve the digital audio video recording of Thursday, December 10th.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Nikki.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. So here's the interesting part of the meeting. We have the county administrator's report.
Okay, we'll start out with the CARES requests. So this was the last week. The deadline was on Tuesday, end of work day. So these are the requests I received in. Actually had a request from Bellevue Library and OSU extensions. We've had OSU extensions for a little while, but we needed to put a contract in place. So we got that signed. So they're requesting some cleaner, sanitizer, paper towels. So nothing unusual. Bellevue, not in our county, but it definitely serves the children in that area. So, we didn't want to tell them no. As you can see, Job and Family Services, each department, there's some of the same expenses that we've done so far. I had added in the payroll amount that we've been taking directly out of the CARES funding, just so that money was accounted for. So the total this week would be the 140 is an additional, I just needed to account for it. So that would be the new total. So if we go to the totals page, you can see all of our current expenses are, all the sub-grant, all the administrative fees, the redistribution amount. We had 91,000 back from FEDC. We got 9,000 back today from TSEP. I think they had a couple outstanding that weren't sure was going to qualify. They're winding that up and they didn't need the additional 9,000. So they returned that. So right now, if all the expenses stand, we're at about almost 20,000. Kylie is working really hard to help narrow down these expenses to make sure we're not missing anything, make sure we've got the invoices in, make sure we got the equipment in, and verifying the amounts. And that's what we needed to do to get prepared for actually shutting this down. So that's why we needed to cut off any more requests. The committee does still have 2 meetings left, one on the 23rd And then again on the 28th, the day before our board, in case anybody contacts us and absolutely needs something. And then we will also need to certify the amount for the final transfer to the general fund. So if you have any questions on that.
Do you anticipate from any of the villages, townships, any additional revenue coming in, extra money?
We did get a call on, I think Monday from, was it Pleasant Township? They got a second distribution from the auditor since they had spent all of their CARES money. They had shown interest to send what was left of that back to the county. I have not seen that contract, or have I seen the amount that may be coming. The auditor did say that Eden Township also reached out to her about giving us some additional CARES money that they got in their redistribution, but I have not seen the dollar amount for that one either.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we approve these expenditures as presented.
Second,
Okay, any additional discussion? Hearing none, Nikki?
Commissioner Thomas,
yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes,
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Anything else, Stacy?
Nope, I think that's all I have today.
Okay, were we gonna have any discussion today about deferred maintenance projects? We had gotten a list of items that needed attention and talking about prioritizing those.
Yeah, I figured we'd go through that when we got to the budget.
Okay, very good. So we're on to commissioners' reports here. Mr. Thomas, would you like to begin?
Yeah, I got a couple things. One, the CEO program that's being managed by TSEP and board of community members, myself on that board as well as a commissioner, continues to meet, continues to collect investors. It looks like the program is definitely going to go. You know, I've been very enthusiastic about this whole process. We're going to add entrepreneurial skills for high schoolers across the county. And I think it's really going to develop some good seed corn for our economy in the future. But I'm not on there necessarily officially as a commissioner, but it is sort of a commissioner board seat. So, I want to step down from that board. And so if there's a role for one of you to play, if you're interested, reach out to Audrey Flood and, express that interest, or Tyler, because I think it will make sense to have a commissioner on that board, but ain't gonna be me. So, but it's a great program. It's got a lot of good support and it's moving forward, and I want to see it succeed. But I just think it'd be better if, someone else were on that board. So,
okay,
take a thought on that. We were made aware that Opportunity Park was included in the Senate bill that was introduced for capital projects. And so Representative Reineke worked really hard to include this in his portion. I'm not sure that it's finalized. We can certainly get some kind of communication from Mike Ditto on the current status, but I really want to give a shout out to Bill Reineke. He listened to us. We had all sorts of community partners list this as their top priority. The Opportunity Center, Seneca County Parks, Regional Planning has run traps on this since inception. City of Tiffin, all of our partners came together, the health department, and supported this one single project. And it's just another testimony to when we're all working together, we get a lot more done. So this park will be behind the Opportunity Center, and it will go in the place where the former juvenile detention center is, which is just a derelict building that we have, and it'll connect to a park managed by Seneca Parks. And so just my hat's off to everybody pulling together and working to make this a reality. Seneca County will have an inclusive park, and it'll have a park that connects to our existing trail that goes to the indigent cemetery. So, thank you, Bill Reineke, for bringing it into the final phase here. So, Mike, do you want to say something? Ditto, you want to say something about the current status?
Sure, and I appreciate that. Echo your comments certainly. And the legislature is supposed to be in their final day of their lame duck session today. Senate Bill 310 will be on, we believe, the House and Senate floors at some point today with that project included. And we expect that if it passes, which we think it will, probably unanimously, it'll be signed by the governor before Christmas. We haven't seen the actual language yet, has not been released, but we are aware of the community projects included for the state and the money that you listed for Opportunity Park. So it's an exciting project, excited to be a part of it. And we'll keep you posted as it gets through the process here in the next 24 hours or so.
Yeah, and I think it's worth reminding everyone that, we invested some money with Highbridge on the hope that it would be successful in the capital budget. And, it looks like we're going to bring this one home. So, we needed proof of concept, and I appreciate you walking us through this, Mike, and keeping us informed.
You bet. Glad to do it. Thanks for the opportunity. We look forward to more projects to come.
That's all I
Anything
had,
else?
Mike.
All right, thank you, Shane. Anthony?
Shane, I had the opportunity to watch your 3 podcast, and you noted in there that when you took office, the baton was passed and the courthouse was underway, and you were here to see the end and the lights, and so you experienced that project. I will have the opportunity to experience Opportunity Park as the baton's passed, and that's kind of how this job is, right? We inherit some, we pass some on, and we do some in between. So thank you for all your leadership on that, because I know you put a lot of time into that. So appreciate it. Just a couple of comments. One would be that I had the opportunity to attend the New Riggle Village Council meeting. Mark Zimmerman, county engineer, was with me, and we discussed with the village council the possibility of putting in a sewer treatment plant in the village. They've got the highest sewer bills in the area. The plant that's there now, their sewage now goes 8 miles to Fostoria. And this has some real legs. There's been a study done, been a lot of time put into it. So I suspect that this will take a life of its own beginning the first of the year. So I'm looking forward to supporting that and seeing how that plays out going forward. Also, we had a request for Martin Luther King Memorial to be placed on the county courthouse. We haven't lost sight of that. Decided to handle this through a committee. So I've put together a explanation of what that committee would do. Basically, it would review permanent structures for the courthouse. We have a system in place now for the use of the courthouse. There's an application process that we go through, but any permanent structures would be vetted through this committee, and that then the recommendation would be sent on to the commissioners, and commissioners would have the final say for approval or not. The committee will be made up of 9 members. We tried to get a diverse group throughout representation throughout the county. I think we have that. I've made some calls. Out of the 9, we have 5, maybe 6 for sure that I've talked to that have agreed to do this. So I'd like to see what the other two commissioners say, maybe give us the green light to move forward with this. I would propose an organizational meeting of that committee right after, sometime after the first of the year, and then let that committee do its work and report back to us. So Shane, you want to add anything, or Mike, to that? Because I think this is one thing we want to kind of check off the box as soon as we can.
This is me handing the baton to you.
Okay, thanks, buddy. I got it. Slow down, because I'm not that fast, but okay. Commissioner Kirschner?
No, I think this
comment?
is I think this is the proper way to handle it. We talked about this.
Okay,
We, talked about this the day after we talked about it the first time. So that,
we're good.
I'm glad that we decided to move forward.
That's all I have.
Okay, so we are going to get into budget. Stacy, this is where we can have our big discussion today.
One question, usually if we develop a committee, we do it by resolution and either do naming by person or position.
Okay.
So, I would think we would need those either names or positions, so Nikki could get a resolution around appointing, if you have that list, or if you
I
have
do
that.
If you want-
have
yeah.
that. So if it's okay, next meeting, we'll have one more meeting before the end of the year, right?
We have
I'll
two.
give you that list with positions.
Okay,
And
Thank you.
I think that's probably the way to do it.
okay. I just want to make sure we had it documented.
Yes, thank you.
All right, budgets. Okay.
I'm still
Okay.
learning, Commissioner. I haven't officially started my 4 years yet.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, last week I gave you a quick glance of what we had submitted to us in requests so far for the year, and it was at 18.4. I reached out to quite a few departments and I walked through some things with them, got some budgets cuts. I did take out, just because of COVID and travel is definitely limited. I pulled the travel out to help the budgets a little bit, obviously explaining to departments that because sometimes you pay for some sort of training through travel, that we would address those as they come for 2021. We don't want to limit anybody, but just trying to get things balanced, including the EMS contribution that we had talked about before, and the additional amount with the Human Resources Department, adding in the increases for the elected officials and any of the mandated shares that we were required. It's sitting at about 17.8, almost 17.9. If I remove the human resources and EMS, because you guys have mentioned, I think that the last meeting, potentially using the workers' comp money to maybe fund that. That's kind of where we're sitting at now. We can go through any of the details, explanations. I just kind of highlighted some of the ones that have changed. Children with handicaps, it's a mandated share. We get that. It's a requirement. The museum, the amount left over from the contributions from the museum foundation, Barnstein's Museum Foundation, and the Historical Society, when they were contributing to the expenses for the museum, that is the amount they had left. And we thought it would be only appropriate to still be able to use that for the museum going forward. Let's see. I think OSU did ask for a slight increase for the extension. And I think if we're taking out salaries, I just took that down to what it was for 2020 instead of giving that an increase. Unemployment, just with things that are going on. Obviously, our unemployment was higher this year than usual. We did get some of that, well, most of that reimbursed through some CARES money, but we still have to expense it. Sheriff's office has pretty much stayed flat. I'm assuming we'll probably have some deeper discussions when Fred Stevens gets in office. But we did up the prisoner medical just because we had some large claims this year that the sheriff had to pay for. So we wanted to just be wary of that, and he increased it a little bit, request that. Did put in 2 additional cars since we didn't do 2 for 2020. And youth center, if you remember for 2020 budgets, at the time I pulled all of the expense reports. Youth center and juvenile probate court had been down staffing. So when I ran the reports for budgets last year, over the last few years, they hadn't used their full budget. They were anticipating some layoffs and some retirement for juvenile probate court. So Jay came to us and said, hey, you cut our budgets too much. So we had to adjust those. So that's the increase in the youth center. They've got their staff back up where it needed to be because they were severely understaffed. Just turnover. Juvenile court, which both Teresa and Sarah at the youth center were wonderful. They had submitted a budget. They dug back in and they narrowed it down as much as they could. And I think the rest of these are just the elected official amounts that were changing for 20 and 21. The high deductible health savings account is what we agreed to. There was a little more claims last year. So that's what we're anticipating for 2021. So I think that's all the changes. If there's anything you want me to, this is just general fund, not non-general fund yet. So this is what I have so far. I get back down to the bottom. So this is where we were at last year. This is what I have narrowed down to, including EMS and human resources. So any thoughts?
Okay, so at 17.5, we have a quote unquote balanced budget. At 17.9, call it 17.895, we have 2 choices. We could either pass a budget with a deficit, or we could go back to the group and ask for a certification number of 17.9. So my suggestion would be at this point a motion to approve the 17.9 contingent upon Budget Commission certifying a number of 17.9. If that, to show us a balanced budget. If that doesn't happen, then we would need to revisit, because I don't think any of us want to approve a budget that shows deficit spending. So
Yeah, I think there's been some new data points come in since Budget Commission has passed the revenue. I mean, we certainly have more line of sight to what sales tax revenue and casino revenue is.
It's a good point. And what, Stacy, when's the next Budget Commission meeting? The 22nd?
Yeah.
22nd. Yep.
Okay.
So they meet before our, well, we may or may not meet, right, on the 22nd.
Right. We have it scheduled. They meet before us.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Mike. I would like to leave EMS and HR in there because I think those are going to be future items that will be part of the budget. And I think we've discussed this even before I got here, so I would make a motion that we approve the 1789-380.41 contingent on Budget Commission's certification of that number.
Yeah, I'll second that. If Mike wasn't making a motion, I'll make the second.
Okay, so any additional comments? That's good
No, I
stuff.
think it's justified to ask the Budget Commission. We have much better data now than when they certified that 17.5. There's been a couple months of really strong sales tax collection. Real estate values are holding up, and casino revenues holding up, and we know the jail revenues holding up. And it looks like that there's more optimism around a stimulus package coming out of the federal government, which will help the economy hold up for 2021. So I think this is very prudent and responsible budgeting at 17.9.
Okay. Nikki,
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
yes.
Okay, so these are the non-general fund, and there are quite a few of them. These are either at the same level as they were in 2020, or if it's a grant and they've changed the structure, got an increase in their grant funding or new grant funding, that's where it would be. The auditor has the, sales tax at 9.3. As you can see, real estate, $826,273.64. The M&R fund, which is the engineers, total $4,821,618.08. The land bank at $90,000. The DRETAC for the treasurer's office, $80,000. Prosecutor's office, $110,620. Commissary fund, $31,000. Allen Irie fund, $53,008.28. The drug forfeiture fund, $7,000. Concealed carry fund, $27,500. Impaired driving enforcement program, $8,658.75. Mental Rotary fund, I don't know what the EXP is, $6,500. Marriage license fund, $11,000. Juvenile special projects, $32,720. That's juvenile special projects. Probate special projects fund, $78,280. The employee health fund, $2,479,787.74. Indigent guardian fund, $6,100. Probate, $2,100. Computer rights legal research, $3,000. Common pleas special projects fund, $13,220. Computer research, oh wait, that's special projects. That's not common pleas. That's one of, let me see whose that is. Juvenile probates. Say that number was a little smaller than the other special projects. So that's juvenile probates. Computer research fund, $21,500. Probate computer fund, $21,500. Clerk of courts, $120,730. Title fund, $289,607.21. Recorder's equipment, $20,000. Washington Street Bridge, $300. Delinquent care and custody, $336,407.50. Underground storage tank, $11,854.51. Foreclosure special projects. This is the clerk of courts and the sheriff's office for a total $64,220. Annexation fund, $700. Community services fund, $4,500. Juvenile programs and services, $52,300. Metrich Fund, 100,000. Flex spending, 15,800. Metrich Drug Fund, 2,000. Justice Mental Health Collaboration Program Fund, $154,122.10. General Special Projects Funds, these are common pleas, 110,000. We'll go over capital improvements.
And Mike, you were going to have a conversation about the special projects funds with the judges, just to make sure
Yes.
we're on the same page there.
Yes. I have not had that conversation.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm gonna hold on capital improvements for a moment. TCAP, 61,663. Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Program Fund, 30,000.
And Mike, I just wanted to remind you on the TCAP, we were going to get a report on that, on the success of some of those programs. So, we have, obviously with this year, 2020, we didn't get a report, but
We'll get that for the first of the year. Pre-sentence investigation writer fund, $168,976. Justice Center operating fund, $215,000. Our bond retirement fund, $146,600. The loan repayment fund, this is the for the Justice Center that we got through NCOESC. So that's $50,000 a year. The county sales.
How long does that one have to go?
It was a $500,000 loan and it was for 10 years.
Okay.
So this is probably year.
like 3 or 4 probably.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we started
okay.
it a year after the building was completed. So this may be 3.
Okay.
Is that listed, Stace, on our bond payment list and roll off? And I'm not sure that 50 is listed on there.
No, this is a loan that the NCOESC got us with
Yeah.
the construction of the Justice Center Fund.
Yeah.
That's separate from our
So it's
bond
not a
retirement.
bond payment, it's a loan payment. I
Yep.
got it.
Yep.
But
this-
from a cash perspective, in let's say 7 more years, that goes away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The bond retirement, the 1310, that is our long-term bonds. I think they were 1998 when the county did a bunch of the renovations, doing the CSB, the RTA, Job and Family Services, and that is up. Our last payment for that one will be in 2023. So we have a couple more years on that. The county sales tax bond retirement. This is the Justice Center bond, $529,933.40. Justice reinvestment and incentive funding, $22,740. Bureau of Justice Administration grant, $125,000. Substance abuse and mental health services, $400,000. Ditch maintenance, $270,612. Job and Family Services, Children's Services Fund, $1,348,060. Their Public Assistance Fund, they are combining all of these extra funds that sub funds of the into one instead of having 3 different sections. So that's why you see a bunch of zeros. It's all included in the one up top. It's just trying to be a little bit more efficient for them. So that's $4,910,670. Law library, $101,629.42. Dog and Kennel Fund, this is Kelly's fund, our dog warden, and then the auditor has some administrative costs that have come out of that fund. She hasn't had any new vehicles for probably, trying to remember, 4 or 5 years. Just put in 100,000. I think that might be a little high. She's only getting two vehicles. Her capital improvement fund, she's had this in her budget probably the last 4 or 5 years. We're at the stage we need to get an engineer in to actually draw up the plans so we can put it out for bid. She's been saving up her dog and kennel fund to be able to do that. And she's had those funds for a few years. It's just we haven't moved forward with that project. So a total, I think I read the total, $513,630.01. Soil and Water Fund, $612,634.38. EMS, $1,220,346. This includes obviously the extra $300,000 that we have committed to EMS. And also this will be the year that should be replacement of one of the ambulances. That amount, we do $65,000 a year. So he's built up enough. So this would be the year. That's all in carryover. So, but that needs to be in the budget.
And I think it's important to note here that 3 years ago, we doubled what we paid into the Echo unit and made that 24 hours. And so here again, we're going to double again. So, you know, when we're talking to our folks, we're trying, you know, we're doing what we can.
Point.
Okay. Workforce Fund, $820,000. Children's Services Fund, $2,135,000. Foster Children Fund, $4,000. The Wireless 911 Fund, $100,800. EMA Fund, $132,442. The VOCA Fund, $151,750. These are both victims assistance funds. $9,090. This again is a victims assistance court cost fund, $600. Revolving loan fund, she just has in her contract services line, so $742.03. Septic loan fund, $5,314.14. CDBG, $28,657.50. The revolving loan fund, $3,000. And then we were at the sewer districts, Hammer Heinzman, $40,242.
Okay, am I the only one that froze here?
Yeah.
No, I
Steve,
think
you're
you
on mute.
rebooted.
Okay, all right, here we go.
I disappeared.
Yeah, you're back.
Jimmy,
Okay,
take
what-
over the budget.
Where did I stop?
That
You're on the
damn-
sewer districts, sewer district.
Okay,
Jimmy got bored.
yeah, May, are you cutting me off? You
I didn't throw you a curveball this time.
Cutting some wires behind the scenes.
You just tell me to stop. Okay, sewer districts, $40,242.59. Bascom Sewer, $184,736.92.
I
New Regal.
need to reshare your
Clean
screen.
up. Yeah.
Oh, it's not sharing? Okay.
Yeah.
Share budget.
Vicky's taking copious notes here and she needs to be able to see it, right, Vicky?
Needs to. Yeah, she'll get this printed.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get a copy.
Yep, I'll send it to Vicky. Okay, so New Regal, $246,898.98. Honey Creek, $50,171.42. US 223 and State Route 224, $32,564.28. And the note interest fund, $139,613. And the total combination, which they're all different funds in all different departments, so it's harder to give a total. But I've been asked for that the last few years. What's the total of our non-general fund? which is 22,695. This is including the capital projects that I kind of skipped over because I wanted to have some more conversation about that. So go back up to 215. Okay, there's the one. And I'm going to bring up my other screen that shows details. John and I went through some of the funds. That's the wrong one. Okay, let me know if you guys can see. Is it still the budgets, or can you see capital projects?
No, we just see
12:15 's up.
Hold on. I think I only shared the page and not the screen.
We can
Okay,
see
we got-
12:15. Nope, now it's off.
Yeah, you had it before, Stace, capital improvement
Yeah.
215.
Okay, this is what I was looking for. Just so you guys can see the different projects first before I get into the budget, I guess.
Right, that's what we have from.
Can you see this now? It just kind of talks about what was on our list. This was a list we started, the strategic plan, Mike's committee with John and Tanya Hemmer when she was still here, started this list for us. So we've kept adding to this every year. As you know, 2020 kind of put the brakes on some of our capital projects. With some CARES money, we did get some projects that, were on our list that probably would have been pushed down the road for a while. We were able to get some of those done. But here are just some of the ones that we had talked about and we've kind of just been carrying over. John's big one was the salt truck, but he didn't do his tractor that we approved this year. His salt truck went down, so he opted to not do the tractor and wanted to do the salt truck instead. And, phones were done, our phones, maintenance phones. So we had on this list, window facade replacement could be up to $1 million. If we don't do anything, we still need to do maybe even some painting and sealing. We've talked about flooring and painting inside, remodel restrooms and break room for ADA compliance. John's highlighted one was the basement HVAC unit. That was on 2020's list. We did not do that. We fixed them a couple times, but that's on his list for 2021. As you can see, CSB, that's the ADA accessibility and that wall repair that we put out for bid. So that was the 750,000. We had tried to do the upgrade on the restrooms for ADA compliance. We tried to put this through the CDBG program. I think Charlene had put it out to bid at least 3 times and we just got no bids. So that's still on our list. They are grandfathered under our old one, but we wanted to be able to update them a little bit, but we just didn't get any bids on it. Lighting, flooring. There's a rooftop unit that hasn't been replaced. It's still functioning, but John wanted to make sure it was on our list. We've talked about before the exterior marble and limestone needs sealed and replaced.
Especially by the prosecutor's office, that terracotta.
Yep. And he had gotten a quote for that for 40,000. The entrance, which we did some, scraping and painting. So we did at least address the front of that. The pit wall, which if nobody knows the pit wall, that's the alley that goes from Court Street to Perry Street. There's a wall that goes from Court Street, kind of drops off and then is in a pit, drivers or a parking lot. And the wall's been crumbling down. It's been on our list for a couple years. So he's got that on highlighted as wants to be a priority. The prosecutor's windows, we didn't do any upgrades when we renovated the prosecutor's office just to keep the cost down. But that was one of John's recommendations. Any of the ones highlighted in blue are the ones that he was that were on our list before. Phone system we got done, security we got done. We've got 2 rooms in the CSB, grand jury room in the health department. We need to replace carpet. It's pretty bad. It's bad enough that there's holes in it and the chairs kind of get stuck. So we need to get that replaced. The upgrade, the old public guardian area for the human resources department. All it really needs is carpet and probably paint. John can do, the painting and everything. So it's probably not going to be 15, but he said that would be a, comfortable number for him if he had to have somebody else do it. Signs for the interior. John is working with the health department, law library to try to figure out a interior directional system with signs. I think they're still working on that. Clean ductwork was not on the list before. We were really trying to get this put under the CARES funding, but they just wouldn't have been able to schedule these projects in before the end of the year. That work should be done. We just couldn't get it in the time frame. We couldn't find any companies that could get it done before the end of the year. So we put that on our capital improvement.
Can't hear you, Stace.
Oh, losing me again?
No, you're okay here.
Got me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
continue. Yeah, I think you're okay.
Okay,
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. Not sure why it's doing that.
So Stace, that's unfortunate. We can't get the duct cleaned in time. Is that what you just said?
Yes. So we
Okay.
got quotes for ductwork for the CSB, the RTA, and also the annex building. So I've got them listed. We
Okay.
really wanted to get those done. We think they should be done. So we went and got quotes, but they said with all of the other, everybody's doing cleaning, of course, they just couldn't get it done by the end of the year.
Right.
So that's on all 3 of those buildings, cleaning the ductwork. That's $39,600. Annex.
I've got a couple things on CSB I just want to
Okay.
say before we move on. One is we really do need that ADA entrance at the CSB, especially with HR going in there and the health department already in there. So I think that's an important one. And just so that I don't forget, or that we don't forget as a group, there was a request from the city or the downtown committee for us to put an anchor in the side of the building when the wall gets redone, so that there'd be a banner that could go across Washington Street. I just don't want that to get lost, because it's in my brain somewhere. So that's one thing. The other thing is the windows, the pit wall, and that, I guess those 2 things in particular, and maybe the limestone on the prosecutor's wall, the old Fifth Third Bank building. Maybe we should coordinate that with the Court Street streetscape. So John should at least have a conversation with Matt Watson and the Downtown Design Committee prior to moving forward with any plans on the pit wall repair. Because if they're going to choose a style for Court Street, we don't want split block and they're doing brick or, whatever. So I think from a design standpoint, the limestone, the windows, the pit wall, we should have a conversation with the downtown committee that's doing the design work. Now, where that comes in a priority on spending, you guys will decide that, but I just didn't want to lose that thought either.
Good. I made a note of that.
Okay.
Since I'm now on the downtown committee, right, Commissioner?
That's right. More baton.
Okay. Annex building. When we did the renovations, we did not upgrade the to LED lighting. I don't have a quote for that, but that was just something that John, long term, if a project needs done, he would like to upgrade most of the LEDs on most of the buildings, but it
That
just-
would be eligible for the energy efficiency bond fund, right?
Yeah. Yep, I assume when we, those 4 bids that we got for the energy, I'm hoping all of that will be included. I know those are still outstanding with COVID and budgets. I just haven't had time to review those. I wanted to review them with John and then review them with you guys. So that is still outstanding, and hopefully first of the year we can, discuss those, bring those back up, and, catch up Tyler on those, those projects. There's the cleaning of the ductwork museum. These were just ones we've had on the list for a while. We got carriage house repairs. I don't know if all of them were done, but they did get the grant money, $50,000 to do that. Public safety building, we've talked both about either relocating. Don't have a number in there for a new building, but these are some of the things that if long-term, if we're staying in that building, some facade enhancement, siding, windows, flooring is old. We did get the security locks and cameras, heating, cooling for restrooms, the kitchen remodel. They had talked at one point about the room they are in upstairs it's not big and it works fine, but we have a kitchen down there that could potentially be better utilized, since there's already plumbing for stuff for a stove, stuff for sinks. But we've talked about that just as an option. And then the roof, we've had some leaky issues and we just keep repairing it. I hadn't talked to Sheriff about this. I plan to meet with Fred on Monday to kind of see what he's thinking about what's been on our list for a while. The H block roof, we had done a repair on that. The jail expansion, that is one we submitted to CCAO to put in for the jails. I don't remember what the grant was called. Mike Ditto might be able to help you with that. The Justice Center, the jail improvements.
Was that 500,000 the number that we submitted? That seems a little low. Am I for that extent?
Because it's, I mean, all they have to do is close in the mezzanine, so it's not, we're not building out a full building.
Right.
I'll have to find the form that we submitted to CCAO, but
Okay.
that's what I had in there, so I assume I correlated that number to that report, but I'll pull that out.
Mr.
and make
Ditto,
sure
do you
that's-
have an update on what the jail?
No, they have not released that information yet. That's one of the few things that a lot of counties and folks are asking that they have not put firm numbers on yet.
But
We're going to give them a big bang for their buck here.
That's
yeah,
right.
and,
Are they going to
uh,
pass criminal sentencing reform? Maybe we don't need jails. Is SB3
that's-
getting voted on today?
Yes, it's supposed to be, yes, but there's some people that are a little upset about it. So this is why this lame duck session, trying to cram it all in today, will be very, very interesting, and we'll be watching.
Yeah, but Mike, and to Shane's point, where can you create 120 beds for $500,000
Right.
or
Right.
or some number around that? So you're
Sure.
right. I understand, Stacy. We've got the height, we've got everything there, and for us to add these beds is very cost effective. And so yeah, I get it.
Good argument. It's it's a good argument we've been making, Tony. Just keep it in your mind there when we go lobby. Make all those good points.
Yeah. Thanks. We're good. Sorry, Stace, back to you.
Oh, that's okay. Let me see. No, that's just a list. Okay, let me share this. I found the letter that we sent in. Sorry to jump around. Just do screen one. So these are all the, let me make it bigger, that we submitted in with CCAO to put towards this. We had LED lighting, carpeting, paint, server upgrade, which I think he's done, ceiling blacktops, tinting windows inside the jail, some concrete work, door locks, computers, which this year he's been able to address some of those, unmarked vehicles, mobile and portable radios, the bed jail expansion, dispatch remodel, and H blocks. So these are the projects we submitted to CCAO, and then they asked us to try to do a cost estimate on that, the construction of the mezzanine and the G block, add additional bed space to increase housing population, and upgrade the jail booking software. So all of these projects was estimated anywhere between 750 to $1 million. So that's what we had submitted.
That's how I got that higher number, Stace. I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. I just hadn't got that pulled out yet.
It was the total.
Yep. Okay, so I just went over them. Youth Center, they're still working on slowly replacing the locks that was installed with this youth center. Were unfortunately they were junk. So we unfortunately had to start replacing these. We've done 10,000, I think, last year, and we still need more to do an additional 10,000. These are better locks they're putting in, but we got to have the safety and security, and the locks that were in there are just failing. So we're getting all of those replaced.
It's the honor system right now, Tony.
Great.
The ag building, we've talked about numerous things. We hadn't done the buildings master plan before we listed some of these items. So, I've got noted new building, or if not, some of these projects that we would need done. The painting and the repairs of the barns did not get done this year. The estimate was 30,000. Just kind of got off priority with everything happening, but we're asking to put it in the budget again this year.
Paint the barns.
Paint the barns. Yep. Engineer's garage, I haven't received anything from him. He usually takes care of that out of his road funds. So I haven't got any requests from him. Job and Family Services, the roof, we've actually had that budgeted for 2 years now. We didn't get it done in 19. We put it on hold for 20. So that's a high priority, first priority, to get an engineer on board to get specs for that.
And I think the decision there was whether we shingle it or we put a standing seam steel roof that, would last 50 years. So I think that
was the difference in pricing.
Yeah.
Chiller, engineer flooring, windows, parking lot, lighting upgrades. I think the only lot that we haven't done yet out there for upgrading to these new LED lights is the front part of like where the park district's at, the engineer's office is at, and then the cafeteria for Job and Family Services, that front lot, we have not upgraded yet. We've done Veteran Services lot, we've done the back lot, we've done the sheriff's lot, and we need to do that front lot. Some of the lights are not working at all. and they're just very, very old and expensive lights. So that would be the next upgrade we do. That was one John was recommending. Some interior upgrades to LED. Security, I think Job and Family had been looking at some cameras and have purchased some. So that might have been taken care of. John said the furnace that runs the Job and Family Services cafeteria area, they've put quite a bit of money in it last year and this year to keep it running. So he's hoping in 2021 that can be one top priority to get that switched over. And as you remember, we're slowly switching it over to gas instead of all electric, which will obviously save us money. And this may be in the energy saving portion of that program we're working on. So some of these may get incorporated into that, and then our savings pays for the costs of the project. We got the taxiway done, property acquisition done. We talked about the dog wardens building. The data center, we got cameras put in the room specifically, servers, just getting the actual servers when they are needed into that room. Weights and measures truck we did this year. Board of Elections with grant money. They got their security done, most of the security done this year. Signs, we were updating signs for county offices to incorporate our branding, our logo. Prosecutor's office we did get done, and working on quotes for the RTA, CSB. Wasn't high on our priority, but we're keeping that on our list.
I think one of the things we want to do are take a look at the way signs out at the campus.
Oh.
That was kind of on our, I think, Commissioner Kirshner, right? That was her, Shane, who was on the transportation.
Yeah, that was
but
one
as
of the
we-
suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that kind of just gets included with Opportunity Park. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna, that's gonna trigger a lot of things out there with the roads and signage and youth center and records. And so but I just want to bring that up. I think that was something that was important for 2021.
So the old youth center, Shane, you had brought this up. Demolition, we had gotten quotes for demolition of that building, and there is asbestos in the building, so we would have to abate it. And I think the climate control, if we weren't going to tear it down, we needed to figure out how to get gas service out there. So, obviously the intent is to get those documents moved to a new building and tear that down, especially with this grant. But so those I put in. If we're going to have, John asked if we're going to have somebody out there to demo the old youth center. There's like an old incinerator that the dog warden and the sheriff used to use, and it's out behind the barns. If somehow we could incorporate that in the demolition to get that done, if we're going to have somebody out there with the equipment to do it. So that's kind of a long list, which takes us back to the budget, actually putting numbers in here. These are just numbers I threw in. Obviously, right now in the capital projects fund, we don't have $2.5 million in there. That would be something we would either need to, transfer, which we've talked about many times, and I can pull any of these out. But you'll see my comments, they might be small. That's the signs and the tractor and new truck for the maintenance department. He's got one of the old dog warden's truck. The transmission went out and he never got it repaired. And then his other, I think it was the green truck, it's not worth repairing. The 300,000 is for the engineer roof, since that is, what we put in. The furnace that John asked to replace, 500,000 is just if we can move forward with that G block, the expansion, just put that number in. The CSB, obviously the majority of that is the ADA and the wall projects. I included the pit and then the HR, grand jury and health department. The RTA, we've talked about painting for numerous years, some flooring, an exterior rehaul. I'm not sure if that's really on our agenda for this year, but I know the furnaces were. And this is just incorporating some of the things that you guys talked about throughout the year. The demolition is the old youth center, the abatement, and including the incinerator behind there. 10,000 is the locks for the youth center, and then the 30,000 for the barns. And then we always sit 100,000 in contingencies there for something else that came up. So currently we have about 350,000 in capital improvements fund. So obviously we don't have near the funds to cover that, but you know, I think there will be some savings that with revenues being up this year, and you know, the departments were wonderful about helping us cut in salaries, travel, supplies. So I think they've given us a perfect opportunity to get some of these done. Can't thank them enough, you know, working through this pandemic and all the unknowns. You know, thought we were going to have huge disappointments, and so just hanging in there with us. So
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the 75,000 in the equipment line, the stuff that John needs. I'm comfortable with the $300,000 for the new roof, you know, going 50-year. I'm not comfortable having a conversation about the RTA yet at this point. I think there's still moving pieces there. You know, and I hate to invest in that building if that's not going to be around. The demolition of the youth center, I'm comfortable with, and of course contingency and absolutely painting the barns. CSB, I mean, that's a big project. I'll defer to you all on that.
Okay, since John isn't able to be with us today, Stacy, do you want us to make decisions about this today? Or would you rather continue the conversation with John's help or input?
I kind of went over these with him. If you would like him to explain these projects a little bit better or get his top priority list, we could hold off the capital improvements for another week, or it's up to you guys.
Well, what is your recommendation? Obviously, we're not going to put $2.5 million in, but what's your recommendation here?
If we take the RTA out because that's unknown, I think obviously the CSB is important. Not sure it'll get done. We can always add any of these back in at any time. So I would say at least the barns, because we got that grant, making sure the building gets taken down, the locks for the youth center. So let me pull some of these out.
The jail, I would say, is something, if we are successful at the capital budget, that becomes real. You know, that's probably our cost share, that 500,000.
Yeah.
But I think you take it out for now until we get line of sight.
And we had the 785 was included when we had $1 million hope for capital budget. Now we're down to 200,000, so it did not make the cut. So are you suggesting, Stacy, that we would move forward with that, potentially move forward with that without a contingency on a grant?
Yeah, John has always emphasized the concerns with that, the structure of that wall. I know we need ADA accessibility and we want better access to the health department, but the structure of that wall, it just becomes a concern for John.
Tony and I probably told you this story, but that wall predates the building. There was an opera house there that burnt down.
Yeah,
it was three brick wall, and they built the building around it. So, I mean, it's one of the oldest walls in town. You know, I would vote to support it, but that's a lot of money and
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
we've
And we
done the
have-
engineering too.
Well, and we have plenty of other projects, Mike Ditto and Commissioner Kirschner, where that we can, tie grant money to, realizing that not all these are eligible for grants, and those are, you can't count on them. So yeah, I'm okay leaving that in there. But then, Stace, I have a question. So we have 100 in the youth center, but then when we get a grant to offset that, some of that is possible here, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna come back.
Yeah, it'll come back. So for purposes of planning and moving forward, understanding that there are some dollars that may come back. I get it. Yeah, so I like the list as it's.
All right, so we have 300,000 in the account at this point. So that would mean we'd have to transfer approximately $1,000,001.
If we move forward with the projects, yes, and we don't get any additional grant funding, which hopefully we
So-
can get.
Okay.
I mean, if we put the budget in place, it doesn't mean we have to transfer the money right now. I think we should look at definitely transferring at least some to get some of these projects done, because obviously we don't have enough in there for, we could do the roofs and that would be about it. So,
Well, the project list doesn't get any smaller, and the amounts don't get any smaller as well. So,
Right.
Your pleasure, gentlemen.
I'll move this list.
Yeah, I'm good with moving the list. And then, Commissioner, I'm just asked this a question. So in the spirit of budget and we're kind of looking at maybe the first quarter to level out and see how things. I think there's some money we can move over, but we can have that discussion, how much and when after the first of the year, right? Is that what you're
Yes.
suggesting? But I like
there-
the list. I like the list as we've prioritized it. Yes.
Yeah, there are some unknowns that can't be certified at this point, so
Yeah.
it may change. It is a bit of a moving target. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. Nikki?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
can you amend that motion just to include all non-general funds? 'Cause I don't think we voted on those.
I'll motion that we accept the budgets of the non-general fund.
Second.
Okay. Any additional discussion on that item? Hearing none, Nikki?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Mrs. Wilson, anything else?
Well, that was a lot. I won't torture you guys any longer.
Thank
Nikki,
you.
you still with us? Got all your notes?
Yes, those of
Well, I
us, that
think,
are- those
just a
of us-
comment, Commissioner, I think, Shane, as you kind of transition out, as we make improvements to these facilities, the county employees work there, the county citizens walk in there. So we're responsible for the liability, if the wall's crumbling and the cost, replacing lights, these kind of things. So I just want everybody to know on the call, there's more to this than, just painting a building. And I think the position of the commissioners has been, at least the last 5+ years, is to do things right. And I support that. I think this is a good process. So we've taken a 10,000-foot view, narrowed our list down. We'll chip at that. We've prioritized it, and I know Commissioner Kirschner has some big. We're going to have to look at some big projects, study them as well, parallel to this. But these are just improvements, right, that we have to make and keep our buildings safe. So
Hey, Stace,
I like
thank
it,
you. Thank you for your long and accurate list. Those of us who are still awake commend you.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good though. We have to do it. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. All right, so we are on to new business, I believe. Do you have any smoke left to be able to get that done, Stacy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If I can, share my screen.
You didn't warn me, Stacy, you were going to be that long.
I know, like my pretty Christmas tree.
There you go.
Well, I like the tree better.
Yeah. All right, I have a couple supplemental appropriation. The auditor's office is increasing the revenue, obviously, for the sales tax. So in turn, it needs to be increased on our side so we could get it transferred. So she's asking for a supplemental increase, $1,326,544.08 to the transfers out. This is how she transfers it out of the sales tax fund into our general fund. As you recall, we did make some adjustments to lower it because of COVID. So they never had increased it back up. So she's working on doing that. Next one is I have a supplemental appropriation. This is for our public defender. We were short just a little bit this year to get through the end of the year, $900.77. And then we have a request from the recorder's office. This is in his contract services line. When we first cut budgets, salaries, contract services, and supplies, Mike Dell went to his contractor and made sure that it was okay to reduce the contract. Surprisingly enough, the transfers have just been doing very well. So it's going above the 30,000 that he had reduced it to get through the rest of the year. He needs an additional 10,000. I think that's all of those that I have. And then I have a couple other, I have a resolution reappointing Greg Ettinger to the Great Lakes Community Action Partnership for a one-year term commencing January 1st, 2021, expiring December 31st, 2021. Ruth Ann House sent us a bio for Greg, and I think Nikki sent that to all of you.
Couldn't ask for better.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
after reading his bio, I was not aware that Greg is a veteran. He's an Army veteran, so served our country. Doesn't surprise me, but I wasn't aware of that. It's kind of neat.
And I have a resolution authorizing contract service agreement with Crawford County for the receipt, care, custody of juveniles on behalf of the youth center. And I think that's all the resolutions I have.
Okay, accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank
I have
you.
just a couple comments. One, thank you to everyone in Seneca County who's been shopping local and spending their sales money here because we get those sales tax dollars. And also on the public defenders, at some point when we get our reimbursement, I think we should probably, report that out as a special thing so that everybody knows. There's a lot of discussion about public defender work, and I think the public would be interested to know what our reimbursement rate came back at.
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. All right, Nikki, roll call, please.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes.
And I
Jimmy,
think
did
we'll
you-
have to appoint another Great Lakes board member because I will be going off as a county commissioner representative. So when you reorganize, don't lose track.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Flint, do you have some type of presentation you'd like to make today?
Yeah, so I'm going to play a video. Bear with me here. This is our first time with the full group doing audio and video. So if we have issues, just let me know. We can fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Hey, Commissioner Thomas. Welcome to this video. We put this together for you as we were looking back at your last 4 years, and we wanted to give some of the people you've worked with a chance to talk about what it's been like to work with you and to wish you luck on your future endeavors. So, I personally have really enjoyed having the chance and the opportunity to call you, a boss, a coworker, a colleague, a mentor, and a friend. And so I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that as you move on to your next chapter, that you don't accidentally block my number, and we can actually stay in touch. So again, I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for all you've done.
Shane Thomas, Judge Meyer here.
Hey, Jimmy, we can't
Yes,
see
I
the
wanted to
video.
give you a message.
We can hear it, but we can't see the video.
Let me go ahead and move this over real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So
This
Shane, you
Zoom
know it's
stuff.
coming.
Yes.
We can hear it.
So, okay.
Mr. Thomas,
There you go.
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, you get to listen to me again.
welcome to this video. We put this together for you as we were looking back at your last 4 years, and we wanted to give some of the people you've worked with a chance to talk about what it's been like to work with you and to wish you luck on your future endeavors. So, I personally have really enjoyed having the chance and the opportunity to call you, a boss, a coworker, a colleague, a mentor, and a friend. And so I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that as you move on to your next chapter, that you don't accidentally block my number, and we can actually stay in touch. So again, I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for all you've done.
Shane Thomas, Judge Meyer here. I guess I wanted to give you a message. With you leaving, I wanted to say some things that you don't always get to say to other elected officials. I want to say thank you. I know sometimes we don't hear that enough as elected officials. Typically, it's your fault, or something good happens, somebody else did it. But today, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all your support of the Juvenile and Probate Court over the years. Thank you for your support of proper funding for our youth center and for our programs. Thank you for your support of our move from our last court facility to this great new court facility. I appreciate your support to help make that happen for us. Thank you for always being an advocate for county employees. Thank you for always taking my call. That's an underrated, I guess, quality for elected officials, but I appreciate you always being willing to talk with me, whether we agreed or not. You're always a gentleman about the things that you wanted to do and things you stood for, and I always appreciate our ability to talk about those things. And thank you for being a good friend. So I'm going to miss you. I wish you and the family well in your future endeavors, and I know that you're going to do great things. All right, be blessed.
Shane, I just want to thank you so much for your service to Seneca County. It's been an honor to work with you. My first impression was when you invited me to the meeting to get to know each other, and it was on a bike ride throughout rural Seneca County. And I learned then and there you were passionate about active transportation, trails, and quality of life for all residents of Seneca County. I've always appreciated that. I appreciate your dedication to economic development and the fiscal responsibility and security of the county, but at the same time growing in positive ways that will impact future generations. So you often thought outside the box. You certainly let your opinion known, even if it differed with others, and I respected that. Thanks for your service. It's not an easy job, and the county was better if you hadn't been in that spot. Thank you so much.
Hi, Commissioner Thomas. This is Julie Adkins, your Seneca County Auditor, wishing you the best in your next journey. It's been a pleasure to work with you as a commissioner, and although sometimes we agree, but we agree to disagree and we can move on. I think that's one of the best features in our county, that collaborative effort that we all have. I just want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and take care and stay safe.
Hey Shane, first I want to thank you. Thank you for being a part of my work family for the last 4 years. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I'm definitely going to miss you. Please don't be a stranger, and don't change your phone number because I might need to contact you.
Hi Shane, it's Amy Reinhardt down here at TSEP, and I just wanted to wish you well and thank you for the time that we've had an opportunity to work together. I remember the first time we met, you were out campaigning and you stopped at my house and you were telling me all about your goals for the county, and we were discussing downtown and how we could collaborate together. And just over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of discussions specifically related around art policy and that type of thing and bringing art into the community. I would just encourage you to stay engaged in the community because we have a number of things going on right now through the design committee in relation to art. So again, I just really enjoyed working with you. You have some great ideas and hope that you're going to be around to continue to work with us in the future. So good luck in your future endeavors, and hope to see you around. Thanks.
Shane, just want to take an opportunity to say thanks for your service as Seneca County Commissioner. I think it's one of those jobs that once you've done it, it's like seeing below the surface of the water and knowing what's there as compared to seeing the top of the iceberg. I appreciate all your hard work, appreciate all your diving into the various issues, and I wish you well in all your future endeavors. Congratulations.
Hey Shane, this is Kathy Oliver from Job and Family Services, and I just wanted to thank you so much for all you've done for us out at Job and Family to support the work we do, and all the things that you've listened to, your important questions that you've asked us. It has been a great experience for us. I wish you the best in your future endeavors and hope to see you around sometime. Thanks so much.
Shane, it's been excellent working with you. Hope you all the best. Thanks for everything you've given to Seneca County, and look forward to continue working with you in the years to come.
Shane, all of the personnel at the Seneca County Veterans Service Commission want to be sure to thank you for everything you have done while we were working with you, and we want to wish you a very bright future.
Hi Shane, just wanted to wish you congratulations on moving on to your next step in your journey. I've known you a long time and it has been such a privilege to work with you as commissioner. I'm wishing you all the best and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Hi Shane, I hope you enjoy this surprise and it's well deserved. I just want to tell you how very much I have enjoyed working for you. You've been so supportive to me, and it's just been a pleasure to get to know you over the last 5 years, and really wish that I were going to be able to say hello to you at the State House, but you were my choice, I'll say that, and would have been great. So I just want to thank you for your service as one of our county commissioners. You're a great person, and I'm honored to know you. And again, thanks for your support, and best of luck in whatever you do, although I know you won't need it.
Commissioner Thomas, I wanted to extend to you my heartfelt thanks for the past 4 years of working together in the Commissioner's office. I'm not sure how many years we've worked together. I know that it began at 04 Bank more than a decade ago. I appreciate all your hard work there. We were very successful in building quite a financial institution until the time I left, and I think you left about the same time, 2007 or 8. I know that your heart is in the right place. I know that you're trying to do and have tried to do and will continue to try to do what is right for the citizens of Seneca County. I appreciate all your efforts and all your hard work. You are a detail person. I am not so much, and I appreciate you doing all the homework that you've done to understand the issues and bring them before the Board of Commissioners. This will be a new era next year, and we're all apprehensive about how it's going to run without you in the office. But I wish you and Angela a wonderful life. I hope that you take some time off, enjoy yourself, and I just wanted to say God bless you and your family, and thank you for your service.
Hello, Shane. I'm not very good at this, but Jimmy said I had to do it, so here I am. I'm sitting back here where the big bosses sit, so it's a different perspective on the room here. I just want to say, whatever you are planning next in your life, I wish you the best. I've enjoyed working with you, and I hope to see you and work with you in the future. And yes, I am wearing shoes because I am in the office.
Shane, I want to wish you nothing but the best as you move on to the next chapter in your life. I want to thank you very much for your support, much needed support in regards to my high-speed orientation. I was appointed in days I was here. You gave me a lot of respect. You helped me through some crazy times when I stumbled. And I really, really appreciate all the help that you gave me and the leadership that you've shown. You are very forward thinking, and you love the county, and you just have a way about you as far as getting things done, networking, plugging into the right organizations. And I respect you for that. I've learned a lot as to how you go about your decision-making process. You ran 4 years ago with the thought of, I want to give back to the county, and you're leaving the county in a much better position.
You know, when sometimes guys get elected, it's, well, I'm from Seneca East or I'm from Nurigal, and I'm really concerned about the people I know. Or if you're from Tiffin, I'm really concerned about the people I've been in business with. But it always struck me that your perspective was, not only is Seneca County important for the citizens, but Seneca County is important for everybody else that comes into town, into Seneca County. So it is with some reluctance that I say goodbye to you. I was never able to find out what your middle initial was, but Shane Thomas, you know, it reminds me of an old Western movie and the guy that made hamburgers, so I guess I'll have this vision of you under the open sky cooking a always fresh and never frozen hamburger. So, but in any event, I'm happy that Shane Thomas was a Seneca County Commissioner, and more importantly, I'm proud that he was mine. Good luck.
Wow, that was a lot. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas.
Thanks for all your hard work on that, Jimmy. That clearly was you.
Hey, I also want to say Paul Harrison was recorded. We had some issues on his end, but he had a message of, you know, good luck in your future endeavors and thank you for your service as well. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. We just had some audio issues on his video. So
talked to him this morning. Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's been great. You know, these 4 years have been like 12. You know, when you get elected, people always say you get an issue. We've got several. And so, you know, we got a couple terms worth of issues, and but it's been good. And I do think the county's in a better place. And I know it's in really good hands. So Godspeed.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was a very heartfelt video, Shane, and I know everybody meant every word of it, and we're sure going to miss you. But you still got a couple more meetings, so hang in there with me, pal. Okay, so the time has come for open comment. Jimmy, if you want to give the instructions again.
Yep, definitely. So if you're on the phone line, you can hit *6 to unmute. If not, you can hit the unmute button and come forward now for public comments.
Hi guys. Good morning. It's me. Just one quick update from us. We are still continuing to process the Seneca Cares grants each day and continuing to keep up with lots of correspondence from the businesses in the program. So it's going well. That's all from me today.
Thank you, Audrey. Anyone else out there, Jimmy? Yes, Nick.
Audrey wanted me to come on and talk to you really quick about the announcement that we made earlier this week about OSECO. Mike, I know that you provided a comment for that press release that went out. But Oseco, which is located in the Airport Industrial Park, was just approved for a $50,000 inclusion grant through Jobs Ohio. We worked with our partners at the RGP, at the Regional Growth Partnership in Toledo, in helping to secure that. So it's going to allow them to do some major addition to their company. They'll be buying a new machinery that's estimated about $117,000. Which is part of their overall growth strategy for the next 3 years of about $240,000 in the next 3 to 4 years, which is mostly new machinery. Additionally, they'll be adding some new jobs along with that investment. So great news for this company. They've got a lot going on. We're very happy we were to help them with this and help them grow into the future.
Good news, Nick. Thank you very much, and congratulations to Oseco.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to go into executive session to talk about personnel, I believe. Is that right, Stacy?
Yep, personnel compensation.
We don't expect any additional information when we come back into session, but you're welcome to hang on. Stacy, are we going to go out and do a different Zoom call here, or?
I'll just call you on the phone.
Just call on the phone. Okay.
Yep, so we'll leave this open. That way we don't lose everybody. We'll leave this open if you want to stick around for it.
Understand. Okay, so I would accept a motion to go into executive session to talk about compensation and personnel.
So moved. Tony seconded.
Okay, so I see that. Yes, okay. Go ahead, Nikki.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes. Okay, so we are recessing this meeting, going into executive session, and we'll reconvene after executive session. Thank you. Okay, everyone back? I see everyone but Tony. Oh, I see him. Okay. So anything else to be brought before the Board of Commissioners for this meeting?
They're not back in their rooms yet. There you
There were no action items in executive session. Okay, I will, without objection, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Christmas.